Have you ever wondered why really smart people sometimes make, well, kind of baffling choices with their money? Today, we're doing a deep dive into Morgan Housel's fantastic book, The Psychology of Money. And our mission really is to unpack this idea that when it comes to your finances, how you think about money, that actually matters way more than just like formulas and stuff.
That's exactly right. It's not really about the complex spreadsheets or the jargon. It's much more about digging into the human side of things, the emotions, the psychology, all those forces that guide our financial choices, often without us even realizing it.
Okay, so Housel kicks things off by sort of dismantling this idea that money is all just universal rules, right? Like a simple math problem.
Hmm.
He says our approach is deeply personal. Why is that so key?
Well, precisely because our decisions aren't made in a vacuum. They're shaped really deeply by our own unique life experiences. It's like we each have our own financial software running based on our past. Think about someone who lived through a big recession compared to someone who only saw boom times. Their attitude towards risk, how they feel about saving, it's going to be fundamentally different. So there isn't one right way. It's about understanding your way, which is built from your history.
That makes so much sense. That context changes everything. And speaking of changing how we see things, Housel draws this really interesting line between being rich and being wealthy. What's the big difference there for you? Why does that distinction matter so much?
Yeah, that's a fascinating one. Richness, he argues, is often the stuff you see. The big income, the expensive car, the visible signs. But wealth is invisible. It's the money not spent. It's the assets quietly growing, the car you didn't buy to impress anyone. It's this hidden accumulation that gives you real flexibility, real options. I also calls that flexibility a kind of superpower. It's freedom.
It's almost counterintuitive, isn't it? That the real power is in what you don't show off. And building that unseen wealth, often it just comes down to doing small things consistently over a long time.
Absolutely. And this connects directly to compounding. Why don't more people really internalize how powerful that is? Housel points to Warren Buffett. A huge chunk of his fortune isn't just down to being brilliant, though obviously he is, but it's the sheer time he let compounding work its magic, where your money makes money and then that money starts making more money. It's exponential. And that's why he stresses that your savings rate, just spending less than you earn, can actually be more important than chasing, super high risky investment returns.
Okay, so we've got personal history, the quiet power of wealth, consistency. But what about the stuff we just can't control? Housel brings in luck and risk here.
Yeah, those are like the silent partners in everything, aren't they? He makes a great point that not every success story is purely because of genius decisions. And flip side, not every failure is just because someone messed up. Luck plays a massive role, both good and bad. Acknowledging that helps us have a more, humble and realistic view of how things actually happen in finance. It stops us from thinking we control everything.
And one thing I really love about the book and Housel's writing in general is just how clear it is. There's no jargon. He uses stories, analogies. It makes these big ideas feel really understandable.
Totally agree. The real value here, I think, is getting you to understand your own behavior with money. It's less about hot stock tips and more about timeless advice on psychology, discipline, that kind of thing. And yeah, maybe some lessons sound simple, but that simplicity is the point. Doing the simple, basic stuff consistently is what actually builds wealth long term.
So, wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you listening? Well, ultimately, managing money well isn't just about knowing stuff. It really boils down to how you act.
Right. So maybe a good thought to leave with is this. Take a moment and consider what unique life experiences, what specific moments have really shaped your financial thinking, your habits.
Exactly. And hopefully with these insights, you can keep exploring that personal relationship you have with money.